All right, everyone, we are back for 2019 Supercross. I am Chase.
I'm Christian.
And we are your RMFantasySXperts. Now, if you played RMFantasySX last year, if you subscribed to our YouTube channel, you watch our episodes weekly, well, they know what it's all about. We come to them each week.
Yep, bring you the, important stats, info, trends, everything to make your picks easier each week.
Yep, so if you played last year, like I said, it's going to be very similar this year with the gameplay. Now, if you've never played RMFantasySX before, well, do not worry. Just go to RMFantasySX.com. You can create an account. It's free.
Yep, join a group, compete with your buddies.
And we have a great video where I actually walk you through the steps of how to play. But in a nutshell, you make your top 5 picks each week, plus a wild card. And we, like I said, are here to give you all the information you need to maximize your points. Now, Christian, why do people want to play fantasy?
I mean, there's a lot of reasons to play, but the biggest one, it's free to play. We give away a ton of prizes, over $100,000, including 2 race-prepped KTMs at the end. And it just gets that trash talk going when you're watching the races anyways. So.
Yeah, I've never screamed so hard over 10th and 12th, 13th place in my life.
I can't think of a reason not to play. There's a lot too. So
that's right. So if you're not signed up, just remember, go to RMFantasySX.com, create your account, watch our show each week, listen to the podcast, and you are rocking and rolling. So for the 2019 season, to kick it all off, we're starting with Anaheim 1. So to start off, we just want to go over some of the top storylines from 2018 leading into this season. All right, everyone, so going into the 2019 season, Anaheim 1, Christian, what do people need to know that changed from last year going into this year?
Not a lot of big changes, but we added a few new venues.
Yep.
They're heading to Nashville, they're heading to Denver, so pretty exciting there. No longer on Fox TV stations, moved over. Yeah,
it is now on NBC Sports, so make sure, don't go to Fox Sports 1, thinking it's gonna be there, go to NBC Sports, and what I love is just like with the outdoor series, you can go to the NBC Sports Gold app, download it.
It comes in the clutch when you need it.
And then you just pay a one-time fee, and you get all the Supercross races, all the motocross races, and you can watch all the replays you want to.
Yep.
So
we got that going on.
Yep.
Triple Crowns are back. I'm a big fan. I'm glad they kept them.
And one change with the Triple Crowns this year is that all 3 mains for 250 and 450 will all be the same length. So for 250s, all 3 mains are 10 minutes.
Yep.
And for the 450s, all 3 mains, 12 minutes.
Which they were kind of staggered last year. They got longer as they went. So I like that change too.
Calendar reminders, what's that?
Another big change to fantasy. We have a button on the website now where you can add your reminders. It just loads the whole Supercross season onto your calendar. So you'll get a notification before each race. You don't want to be that guy or girl, didn't get your picks in on time. You're screaming, swearing, scaring the kids. Don't do that. Go add the calendar to your device of your choice. It's easy to do and, keep you in the loop for the rest of the season. So.
Another new thing this year is that for our RMFantasySX loyal listeners and watchers out there, we now are going to be giving a discount code at the end of the episode. So if you go to RMFantasySX.com, there'll be a banner. You can click on it, and we will give a discount code that will give you a discount for already discounted items. A lot of discounts,
save some
but
money.
It saves you money.
Be smart. Save your money.
That's right.
Work hard for it.
Make sure to stay tuned at the very end because we're going to give that discount code out. And then, so real quick for this week, we're going to Anaheim 1. So if we talk about the track real quick, nothing real special.
Pretty similar to last year.
Pretty similar to last year. You have an under-over section, a decent set of whoops, and you have 3 180 turns, but we'll kind of see how it shapes up for the racing. But anyway, now we got to talk about who we've lost from last year.
Let's do it.
What do we got here? So, Pike.
Injuries first.
Pike,
Scary
wishing that
crash.
guy the best.
Yeah. Best out to him. I think it would have killed a lesser man. I think we can all agree with that. But
it was bad.
Best wishes out to him. Benny Bloss, bad news right before the season started. Hurt his knee.
Yeah, which he's replaced with Justin Bogle for for the whole Supercross season. Jeremy Martin, he is out. He has to have a second back surgery. It's kind of a bummer. He was recovering, but has to go back under the knife. And so we'll see him actually in 2020, maybe the end of 2019 motocross. And then Weimer, Tickle, Weimer's retired.
I heard. We'll see.
Tickle, still suspended. Haven't heard back on that.
Yep.
So, team changes. What do we have there?
Well, the big news going into this season is all the rookies that are moving up. I mean, it feels like kind of the Oprah deal. You get a rookie, you get a rookie. Everybody gets a rookie. There's rookies everywhere. So Joey Savacci moved up to the 450s with the Monster Energy Kawasaki team.
Yep.
Justin Barsha signed a multiple-year contract with Monster Energy Yamaha factory to stay there.
Yep. Plessinger will be joining Barsha on that Yamaha team.
Exciting.
Cooper Webb is now with Red Bull KTM.
Yep.
Chad Reed officially did sign with Auto Trader JGR Suzuki, so he'll be on that factory back team. And we got to announce it now, Justin Bogle, or the Rocky Mountain team for the whole season.
Benny Bloss, yep.
Cool. So, nothing crazy, but definitely strongest rookie class I think we've ever seen come into the 450 class, and we'll talk about that more. But now, we got to get to the meat and potatoes because
it's time to help you make your picks.
That's right. So let's get it up. We're going to talk about our top contenders for those top 5 picks.
All right, so heading into the top riders of the series, we've got the safest bets here, the most picked riders we think you should have in your top 5 first, especially the first round.
This will be the hardest round to pick top 5.
You don't know where everybody is.
You've got everyone coming in healthy, minus the riders we talked about. You have the most stacked rookie class. So the riders that we see on the table, we have got Eli Tomac, Marvin Musquin, Jason Anderson, Ken Roczen, Justin Barcia. Now calm down, people. Yes, I know there's a lot of other people that could crack the top 5. We'll even talk about that. But these are your top 5, what we would say proven contenders.
Off stats that we have.
Off stats, off last year, that are good, safe bets to put into your top 5.
Which is our strategy in the round 1. Be conservative. Don't lose it. If there are going to be those people that send it first round, that's fine. But our suggestion is, keep yourself in there.
So we're going to give you some stats on these riders just to help understand why they are awesome for top 5 picks if you haven't played before. So Christian, start us off with Tomac.
Well, Eli Tomac, I mean, it's crazy the amount of races he won and what he did last year and still didn't win the championship. So I'm
2 years in a row.
I'm expecting this to be his year. If it's not, I don't know what else he can do. But he took the whole shot, led 7 laps in A1 last year, then crashed, had the pants malfunction. We all remember that.
But then he won 8 races last year.
Yeah, he was in there in the first, a lot more than anyone else. What did he win? 8 races, something like that.
Won 8 races. He won 3 out of the last 5 rounds. He just won Monster Energy Cup in dominant fashion, minus the Savachi story. We all know that. But
barring something crazy, we both agree this guy should be your top pick, first place.
If not your top pick, he's on the podium somewhere. Absolutely, right?
And even with that being said, he's never won an A1.
No, he's gotten worse from 2016. What did he get? He got fourth, 2015, 5th, and then last year he DNF'd.
Yeah, so he's gotten worse than A1s. He can't get any worse this year. So.
Okay, now Marvin Musquin, he won Anaheim 1 last year. He had the best starting average on the West, which was a 3.43 starting average last year. So
by far.
Yeah, very good at starts. And then he was on the podium 11 of the last 12 rounds in 2018.
That's amazing. It just says he should be nowhere worse than 3rd.
But my only concern with Musquin, now this might not be an issue, but I did hear that he had a little bit of a knee injury in the offseason, which is why he didn't race overseas. So, but it's Musquin, safe bet for the podium. Got to be, right?
Also with him, fun fact, he only placed where he qualified 1 time last year. So maybe move him around where he qualified.
All right, and now we get on to your 2018 Supercross champion, Mr. Jason Anderson.
Congrats to him. I mean, it was a crazy year for him, but what do we think going into 2019?
Well, last year I think he came out and I'm not going to say shocked a lot of people, but I didn't expect him to be where he was, but he finished 2nd. Now he has won. Anaheim won before, right? So,
he took 2nd last year, so he's right there.
Yeah, he's doing really well. So only 6 riders have won back-to-back championships, which is surprising to me. Can he be number 7?
I think he needs help or to step up to another level. I think he got a little bit of help last year with these 2 getting hurt, but he's definitely got the speed.
But he's consistent. But surprisingly, Anderson did miss the top 5 6 times last year.
Oh, that's the podium.
Or the podium, excuse me. He was off the podium 6 times last year.
When I looked that up, it kind of shocked me. I didn't think he missed it that many times. So he's more towards, 3rd, 4th range for me.
And he only had 1 hole shot, Anderson. 1 hole shot, and that was actually in one of the second mains of a Triple Crown.
So in standard rounds, he's never gotten he didn't get a hole shot last year.
No, so
definitely needs to improve there if he wants to
stats, especially
defend his title.
Opening round.
Oh, yeah.
With how stacked it is, I think he's got to have a good start. All these guys have to have a good start. How about Roczen?
Roczen, he ended the series last year on a bad note. I mean, we were all pumped he came back, and then him and Webb got into it. I don't know, a little behind the scenes there, but
I don't know.
He raced the whole outdoors. He looked good. Not too many worries about injury with him right now.
No,
right?
But if you are wondering about Roczen as far as your picks go, he's actually won Anaheim 3 out of the 5 times that he's been there. He won it 3 times in a row. And then the last couple of years, yes, he's had those injuries. But Kenny, in my opinion, I think he's a solid top 5 guy. Last year, he got 4th. He was one of the few riders that really charged through the pack. So absolutely top 5. But I don't know what you guys think. If you're listening or if you're watching this, where do you think, Rox and some of the guys are going to finish that we've already talked about? And then the last guy, probably the biggest question mark in my opinion that is on the table right now, is JB51.
It feels like that, but then you go look at his stats, and the guy was solid.
He was.
I don't know. It just doesn't feel fully right. But Martial Law could be back this year. I mean, he's going to be motivated. In his first 6 rounds, he finished with an average of 4.83 last year.
So he got hurt after that.
In the top 5.
Yep.
Qualified 3rd and finished 3rd in A1 last year. 3rd in the 2nd round also. So he had back-to-back 3rd places to start the season. Had the 3rd best West Coast standard round average finish of 5th and 6th best start. So he's up there, no doubt.
And he's always been a good starter. In fact, Barsha did not start worse than 3rd in his first 3 rounds last year. So
that's huge. Yep.
He's a very good starter. So there it is. Those are our top contenders. Like I said, if you're not quite sure who you think should be in your top 5, those are some stats coming from last year that we think make a great argument for why these guys should be in there. But now, next up, we want to talk about
things happen.
Things happen. Every week, every year, things happen. Riders who you might not expect to jump into the top 5 do it, and that's what we call our weekly spoilers, and that's what we're going to get into next.
Yep.
All right, so Anaheim won. Like we said, there's always some riders that are good picks if you want to take a little bit of a risk to possibly crack the top 5. So 3 riders we have on the table. We got Blake Baggett, Justin Brayton, and Cole Seeley. Now Baggett, going off of last year's stats, probably doesn't seem like the safest bet to crack the top 5 because he actually didn't crack it.
Any A1 stats.
Any A1, yeah. Because he got 12th last year, 14th the year before. He didn't crack the top 5 until the 5th round, which was Oakland last year. But he's known as the guy that flies at the test track. He has the speed, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Baggett land in there. What about Brayton?
Brayton, I like. We all discredited him last year. He comes back, wins a race in Daytona.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That nobody would have picked him on, that's for sure, especially us. Believe it or not, but
I always thought he could win Daytona.
But the guy, he's won a race last year. He's had the same average qualifying and finish in West Coast standard rounds last year of about 9th. So he really needs to turn it on if he wants to do something in A1. And he only had 3 top 5s in standard rounds all year last year, and they were all on the East Coast. Okay. So maybe a little bit riskier of a pick. What about your boy Cole Seeley?
Oh, my boy Cole Seeley. He thought about retirement, but he brought it back. He got it back together. So with Cole is always a solid top 5 rider. The guy is a shoo-in for, around that 5th place spot. Last year he got hurt about halfway through the season, but this year it sounds like he's fired up. He's done a couple off-season races overseas, and he actually led 34 laps in 6 West Coast rounds
People forget about that.
So if you want to take a risk, Mr. Cole Seeley. So those are some of our 3 spoilers we think could possibly crack the top 5. But now, important, we got 4 big rookies moving into the 450 class this year. Let's put them on the table. Who do you got over there? You got Justin Hill.
Technically his rookie year, yes.
Technically.
Joey Savacci.
Aaron Plessinger. And Zach Osborne. Unfortunately, if you guys haven't heard yet, Zach Osborne did injure his collarbone, so he is out.
If he was in your picks, get him out.
Get him out.
He is replaced.
I think 4 to 6 weeks is what they said the recovery time because he has to have surgery. So Osborne's up here on the table, but we're not really going to talk about him much. But we have 3 other rookies. So, Christian, out of Plessinger, Savacci, and Hill, rank these 3 in top 3 of who you think will make the biggest impact to A1. Whether it's top 5, maybe hitting that wild card spot. What do you think?
I don't know. Right now, I just think this dude is riding off a Monster Energy Cup. Savacci? He looked maybe the best we've ever seen. He was on the 450.
Looked comfortable.
This time, pulling over at the end of the race didn't hurt him as much as maybe 250 years. But then I'm going to go with Plessinger. I mean, the guy just came off 2 championships. He's got dance moves that
you wish you had.
That I wish I had. I mean, my gosh. And then Justin Hill, I like. Everyone likes him. He's got style off the track as well as on.
Yeah.
Does crazy things. He's got speed, but with that speed comes danger. I think he's a little bit more risky of a pick.
Stranger danger?
Yeah.
All right, so you got Savacci, Plessinger, Hill. You know what? I'm going to agree with you on that. If Osborne was in the mix, I think we'd both probably have Osborne up towards the front. But yeah, I think you're right. Savacci, he's riding high off the Monster Energy Cup. Plessinger, guy won a 250 Supercross and Outdoor Championship last year, so we know his confidence is high, but we haven't seen him race on a 450 yet. And then, yes, Justin Hill, we all know has the speed, but he's kind of a wild child.
He's a risky
If you
one.
don't know if you're going to get a fast Justin Hill that's going to cause waves.
Yeah, I mean, he took
or if you're going
sixth
to get a
in his
ripple.
first race last year in Tampa, so he can be up there.
What do you guys think? If you're listening, if you're watching, where do you guys rank that the rookies, are they coming into A1? Where do you think they're going to finish? Who's going to have the better year overall? I'm kind of curious. But there you go. Now, it is time to get into it. This week, wild card, 10th place, probably the most important pick because wild card, like we said, worth as many points as first.
Yep.
So let's get into it. This is the wild card watch.
So, getting into the wild card, some might say the most important pick of the week.
Neither one of us got it once last year.
But we're on a mission this year. It's
gonna
going
do
to
it.
happen. 10th place. So we took the riders that have the closest finish to 10th in standard round on West Coast last year.
Yep.
Starting with Josh Grant, 9.8. Cooper Webb, 10.17. Dean Wilson, 10.83. Vince Freese, 12.
So those are the average finishing places for these guys in standard rounds.
Whether you like it or not, like Webb, it feels dirty to me to put him here. I don't like it, but
Stats don't lie.
The stats don't lie. He's spinning webs of lies all year on us last year. So,
all right, but I'm
it's just
curious.
where the stats go.
He's with Alden Baker, KTM.
Yep. Definitely.
Does it change things?
You know, definitely a new feel for him.
Okay,
so.
now we got two more riders. We got Malcolm Stewart, Chad Reed on the table.
We lumped them in there for sure. Malcolm Stewart, I heard, is in phenomenal shape.
Yep.
He's motivated. Chad Reed, these two are just wild cards in and of themselves. I feel like they could be anywhere at any night.
But last year they were both out of shape. Malcolm Stewart couldn't stay off the ground. Chad couldn't finish a main without huffing and puffing.
I think not having, their teams and all figured out. This year it's solid.
Solid
They
off
should
season.
know
They're
what's
both in
going on.
shape. Easily, each one of these could crack the top 10.
I like it.
But there you have it. So if you need help with your wild card slot, here are some good picks that we feel, some going off of stats, some not, that could easily fit that. But if you think we missed a rider that you think is a great position for the wild card, or even that top 5 contender that we talked about, or the spoilers, the rookies, debate with us. Do you think we got it right? Did we get it wrong? We want to hear what you have to say, and we'd love to carry on that conversation with you. So make sure to write your comments below after you watch this. But now you know what time it is? I'm so excited.
Time to lock them in.
Let's do it. Let's lock in our picks. All right, Christian, here it is. We have to lock in our picks. If you guys are watching, here are my top 5 on the table. I will run through an order. Eli Tomac taking the W.
I like it.
Okay. Ken Roxon, second place.
That scares me.
Healthy offseason, crush it in outdoors. No reason this guy shouldn't be on the box, so I am for second. Behind him, I have Jason Anderson in third place, the returning champ. He's coming back.
Oh my!
As long as he can get his start, I think he's there. Marvin Muscan, I just see him as fourth place. I don't know why.
Why do you hate Marv?
I don't hate Marv.
Okay.
Okay, and then I've got Justin Barcia for fifth place. And this weekend, I predict that a rookie of the 4 we talked about, one of them will either crack the top 5 or land in the wild card spot. So therefore, I have Justin Hill for 10th place.
You're vibing with Hill. You're gonna wait for qualifying.
Dude. Yep, the Oregon vibes. I'm from Oregon. I got the vibe.
The man's got style off the track. I like his wardrobe choices.
I'm not a big fan of his music.
His music's a little wild.
Okay, what do you got?
All right, Eli Tomac, safest bet. I mean, at the end of the year, you wish you would have left him in first every race, every year.
Pretty much.
Ken Roxon, no disrespect, but I just don't feel right with him there. I'm gonna put Marvin second, Anderson in third. I like Roxon in fourth. I like Barcia in fifth. Justin Hill, the hillbilly, he's crazy. He's out of control. But I think Webb just falls back there. I know it doesn't feel right, but
Web of truth.
it's just gonna be the web of truth this year. I think with the rookies and all the drama and him on a new bike, he gets pushed back to 10th. So.
Okay, fair enough. Well, there you've seen it. Those are our picks. You guys have heard it. We have locked them in. Now remember, like we said, watch qualifying. Look at where riders are qualifying to see how you feel like they're going to do throughout the night show. For example, for me, if Justin Hill qualifies really poorly, or maybe he qualifies really well, I might switch things up a little bit. And Christian, you know as well as I do, Daniel Blair.
Jim Hawley.
They challenged us this year.
Called us out. I don't know what they were thinking, but if you watch Race Day Live before every race, which you should on supercrosslive.com, they break down all the qualifying results.
Yep.
They challenged our SXperts hood. So our picks mean something this year. We're going to be combining our
They
points
always
against
mean
them.
something, but this is for dinner in
Yeah,
Vegas.
this is getting serious this year. So.
Well, there you have it. Those are our top 5 and our wild cards. Comment, what do you guys think? Now it is time to unveil why we play RMFantasySX. So here we go to finish it all off. This is our prize recap. All right, Christian, it's time to talk about why you want to play RMFantasySX. So remember, people, we give away top 10 grand prizes. That's the end of the year prizes. Christian, what are we giving away this year?
Like always, KTM 450 SXF race prepped for first place. Second place, KTM 250 SXF. Third place, Red Rock riding experience with us. And you also take home a nice Honda generator. Fourth place, Monster Energy VIP Cup
One
trip.
of my favorites.
Yep. Brock Glover getting flown in to Rocky Mountain for 5th place to go on a dual sport ride with whoever wins that.
Yeah,
pretty
sponsored
awesome.
by Dunlop.
Yep.
6th place, Fly Racing Gear hookup, so get a full set of Fly Racing gear. 7th place, Milestone Video Games. You get the video game for Supercross, a console, 4K TV, so you get the hookup there.
Yep.
8th place, Spending Spree from Motion Pro Tools. 9th place, Have 'em on my bike, Tuss Impact wheel set. And 10th place for our grand prizes, Oakley's Spending Spree for sunglasses and goggles.
That's right, huge prizes.
Not bad, but that's just our grand prizes. What about weekly?
Weekly, we're giving away 100 prizes every round. So
Every
it's
round.
never too late to join. This round 1, A1, the top scorers are going to take home Recluse Radius CX clutch for the top scorer. Second place, Bell Moto 9 Carbon Flex helmet. Third place, 2 sets of Pirelli MX32 mid to hard terrain tires. Fourth place, MSR NXT gear set. Other prizes from...
Yeah, Pro Honda's jumping in on that. Fly Racing Light Hydrogen gear set, Mobius X8 wrist brace, Fox Comp boots, Galfer oversized rotor kits, a Cherry's thrown in the Spending Spree, and of course, 90 Rocky Mountain $10 gift cards. So you have 100 chances to win every week, and you don't have to play every round. So if you get a late start throughout the season, or somebody you convinced and you talking to join and gets a late start, does not matter. You can still win weekly prizes. So get signed up and get playing.
It's huge.
Oh, and lastly, also, for all you RMFantasySX loyalists out there, I can't talk right now. For you loyalists out there, we also have a discount code on the RMFantasySX website. So when you're there, look at the banner up the top. So for this weekend, we're going to do a 10% off already low prices on Closeout MX goggles. That will be for Friday and Saturday. Only, yeah.
Get on that
And
quick.
that discount code is CG19SX.
That's right. Plug that in. The banner's on the website. Save some on some goggles.
Yep. So there you go, people. That's why you want to play RMFantasySX. Remember, like we said earlier, free to play, tons of killer prizes each week along with our grand prizes. Also, we would love it. Comment below if you're watching this on YouTube. Let us know what it is. If you think we got everything right or wrong, we want to hear the debate because we love to comment back. So...
Also, make sure to join up our group, RMFantasySX Rivals. Me and Chase will be in there, Jim Hawley, Daniel Blair, get some smack talk going.
Yep.
See how you stack up against us. So.
And if you're watching this, obviously, if you want to hear the podcast version, you can listen to that as well. So from all of us here at Rocky Mountain, I am Chase.
I'm Christian.
We'll see you next week.